Hey, what's happening today is all about life by design, not by default. How does that happen? How do you make every single day like Saturday? And I know it sounds kind of like a big aspiration, like it can't exist. But I was talking with a friend of mine that we were actually out on a walk about 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning, and we started having this conversation. It's like every single day can be like this, and what I call on preference, meaning your preferred life versus your default life. And so I just wanted to share a couple techniques with you of how that actually works and how you can get more of it. And it doesn't just happen, it's by intention and it's actually planned. So number one, when you sit down and you actually architect your life, and when you sit down and architect it and like blueprint it out as to the house that you want to build, your life is that way. Most live life by default, where they're just taking what's given to them and kind of feel like that pinball in a pinball machine and living reactionary and not living on, taking the initiative, and you're more reactive and rather than proactive. And so what I did was I sat down and I started looking at all the areas of my life. I do this as an exercise that I teach with what's called vital signs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the areas that I have where my heart comes alive, where I have the most impact on a kingdom level, where my unique abilities come alive, where I save the most amount of time and I make the most amount of revenue that I possibly can. And so when I look at my life, and when you look at your life, you have 168 hours of time, and we all do. This isn't like you have less time than I do. It's really about sitting down and saying, hey, what does the ideal day look like to me, the ideal week, month, year, etc. And that even means if you have a job or work for somebody else and might not have the time freedom of 8 hours a day, you and I are still dealing with the same 24 hours a day in our life. And so here's what I do. One, I sit down and I actually design the most ideal day. Two, I look at, is everything that I'm doing in life preferred or unpreferred? That includes the work that I decide to take on, the clients I decide to serve, and the way that I'm operating in this current season of life. Lastly, I put that down on paper and actually shoot for a goal on making sure that's actually going to happen over the course of my lifetime of this year, and how that ripples into the next 3, 5, 10 years, 2 decades, you name it. All I'm getting at is like this. Every day can be Saturday to you, but how badly do you want it, and how badly are you willing to lean into it in order to make that happen? It doesn't just happen. It is by design. And it takes a little bit of time, but you can literally over time craft it and shape it into the most ideal life. My ideal days are waking up 4:45 to 5, quiet time, about an hour of alone time, quiet time with coffee, prayer time, journal time, then go out for my workout, do my workout, come in, have time with the kids, do devotions with the kids, get them ready for school, have breakfast, get them out, then go do my second workout, then come in, do work and preferred work on clients that I prefer and projects that I am curating that I prefer. From 9 until about 12, lunch break, come in, projects, finish up projects, making sure that I'm actually booking myself as a client where I'm actually working on new projects and new assets that I want to build. So things that pay the bills and underwrite the current initiatives that we have, and then adopt new ones in the afternoon that are brand new ones I'm going to plant. And so that is all by design, to where now I can wrap up the day, hang out with family, and I'm not baked and I'm not fried. Is it possible to work the least amount, making the most money you've ever made, doing what it is you love, while making an impact on this world? Our number one initiative in this life is to love God, love people, bring people up in that endeavor, and rescue special needs AIDS orphans in South Africa is our mission of our life and what we do. That is what we're on mission to do. We support multiple missions efforts here in Orange County, nationally, and as well as international. But my slogan is using creativity and story to bring hope to the world. My friends, the life you want is going to have to be by design. I spent a good portion of my life mentoring and coaching creative entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, people who own their own fitness companies, you name it. And I help them build a life by design that is optimized and preferred. And it does not have to be a burden. It can be an absolute blessing. If that's something that you're interested in, I want to let you know that I have a day. Normally my days are about 3,500 to work with me to 5,000 for a full day of where we're doing discovery sessions on looking under the hood of your life and your time, your talent, and your money, and how you're going to make an impact on this world. We look at your family, we look at your marriage, we look at your parenting, and we look at your finances. I've helped take artists from zero to sustained, brands from zero to a full ecosystem that helps them not just generate income, but also an impact. But that takes some time to design. It takes a moment of pause to sit down and to craft that lifestyle. And so if you're interested in being intentional about it, if you want to take the next step, I would invite you to join me this coming October 23rd. It's going to be a one-day session. It's going to be online if you can't make it. If you can't make it, it's okay, meaning you can't make it in person. That's okay. I have only a few spots, limited spots, under 10 spots to do this in person with me. Be one of the most amazing investments you've ever made in your life. If you would love to do that with me, go to reimagineworkshop.com. Spend the day with me. Invest that time with me. And we're going to be able to unpack and help you build a life of impact and income. And that is by design. I'm going to share my structure with you in order for what it takes to take a creative, especially through the lens of an artist, because that's how I did it. And man, I just want to encourage you, if we can do it through art, you can do it through any product. So how do we take your amazing asset of your story and use that as the bedrock and the foundation to be able to launch you into a life that is by design, not one that's by impact? It's going to help you, a life by design, not by default, that's going to help you make an impact. And you're going to be so stoked living in that sweet spot. And that sweet spot is a peace that surpasses all understanding. I wouldn't be saying this unless I've had a taste of living this on the daily. 35 years of building a brand, from starting on a bike to be able to working with multiple brands, building a life of preference, launching courses, launching books, launching workshops, launching art, publishing books. It's just been incredible. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, because so many amazing things have been built upon that. And it just keeps getting better and better and better. And by the way, when you build a life like this is not a life you want to retire from. It's not a life you want to retire from. So I would encourage you, join me. We're going to have a blast doing it together. October 23rd, go to reimagineworkshop.com. Hope you have an amazing day. I'm in your corner. See you later.